The sun is really shining on me right now, and I'm scared for whatever's gonna go on with the lighting. Morbidly Yours. Some hate everything about hockey. Seems rather fun. How cute is that? It's one of those books. Oh, this is her new book. These are all the books I'm gonna try and read. And with 400 miles to go. Hello, welcome, what is up? Welcome back, and welcome to my October TBR list video. I basically wanted to go through all the books that I'm going to try and read in October, and as always, if anyone has any book recommendations just in general for the spookier months or just in general, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I've got my big old stack here. I've been ambitious. I feel like I've been really ambitious. September was a really good month for me reading wise. I feel like I really got back in my groove. If you saw my last video, my Reckless and Powerless reading video, then you know I really got into a groove, and I'm on that groove. So I've got quite the stack for October. I don't know if they're super spooky. I'm not gonna lie, I do not like thrillers. I don't really like murder mystery books. I do not like horror books. I'm a very girly girl who just wants to read fantasy, romance, romantasy. That's about it. Some quirks in there, but nothing too crazy. I like to read my books and be giggling and kicking my feet, not reading my books scared for what's coming next. So grab a cup of tea, just like I have here in my massive mug, and I'm going to take you through my October TBR. So we'll go from top to bottom. None of these are in order. They literally I just stacked them up as I found them. But also actually fitting, we'll start off with Morbidly Yours, which I actually finished reading about an hour ago. So I'm including it in here because I wasn't expecting myself to finish this book so quickly. I'm gonna add it to my October TBR even though I have read it. Just will forget that I've already read it. This book really shocks me. I hate that I'll do it like this so you can actually see, because my blinds are having some weird effects right now. I absolutely loved this book. It really surprised me. The first, not gonna lie, like the first 100 pages, maybe 120, I was a bit like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this book. Then it actually really like twisted, and I actually really enjoyed it. I've rated it on my Goodreads like 4 stars. But basically, this book is about Callum and Lark. Callum is an undertaker, so he works in like a funeral house morgue, and Lark is a animator director. I don't really know what she did, to be honest, but she was an animator, let's just say, and she moved from Texas to Ireland because her husband had died a few years previously, and Texas just went sour. You kind of get to know why Texas went sour, but Texas went real sour, so she ran away to Ireland. They end up moving next door to each other. Body bags get delivered to Lark's apartment instead of Callum's house, and then Lark and Callum meet, and it's like very, very cute. Callum's situation, he basically has to get married before he's 35, which is in like 9 months or 6 months or something, so like soon, because when his granddad died, he was only going to pass the estate down to Callum if Callum could provide an heir, basically, and was going to continue the bloodline. If not, it would go to Callum's dad. Callum and his dad have a really bad relationship. So basically, Callum's on a time crunch to try and get married. Lark then like finds out about that and is trying to find him the one, while also developing feelings. I mean, we saw that one coming. And it's just a really cool, easy read. I don't know though, but it was really fun. Like, I really enjoyed it. Having Callum as like a morgue worker was interesting. There were some really uncomfortable scenes, not uncomfortable in the fact of like, ugh, this is like uncomfortable. Like, I wasn't physically uncomfortable. I just, when you're reading, you're imagining it, and I was like, oh. So with this, it's kind of like at the start, Callum's really shy, really suffered. And then by the end, he feels way more confident. Lark has kind of given him this confidence, because Lark is really outgoing, really confident. It was a really nice book to read, really nice ending. So I would recommend this. And also Morbidly Yours, that's giving spooky death vibes. Moving on, I now no longer have read any of these books, so we're gonna kind of learn about these books together. I basically went to Waterstones the other day and was like, let's just go crazy. So that's what I did. Oh, actually, no, I do know about this book. This is Collide by Bal Kahabra. I'm sorry, I've probably butchered that. Again, if you saw my last video, I bought this in my last video and I explained what the book's about, but I'll give a quick summary. There's Summer and there's Aiden. Summer wants to become a sports psychologist. Hockey is a hockey captain. Summer hates everything about hockey. Aiden is literally a hockey captain. So I think they're basically put together in some sort of situation, and then probably end up having to work together and then hate each other, because it says on the back, they're off to a rocky start, and provoking each other, it turns out, is what they do best. So I presume it's a very much like enemies to lovers. I feel like this is gonna be really cute, easygoing, quite easy to read. I really love the colour. Again, I don't know, I'm sorry about this lighting. I don't know if it's that autumnal, but it's just giving cute vibes, and I saw it in Asda and I just wanted it. And also it says, as sparks fly, neither wants to be the one to give in. Can they get everything they want, including each other? I'm intrigued. Moving on to Elena Arms, The Fiancé Dilemma. This is the second book, I think, of the Spanish Love Deception books. I love Spanish Love Deception so much. It was such a lovely book to read. I also remember it very vividly, so I have a feeling it's also like a 5-star read for me. This book follows Josie Moore and Matthew Flanagan. Oh, I love the name Josie Moore. That is so cute. Josie Moore has given love plenty of chances. Matthew Flanagan is out of luck. I presume this is very similar actually to Morbidly Yours. Josie's had 4 failed engagements and 5 if you include her previously absentee? I don't know what that word means. Famous father. When the latter announces his retirement with a splashy magazine piece about family, Josie learns that her romantic history has become a PR nightmare. Matthew's out of luck because it's bad enough that he's lost his job, but then whilst travelling to Greenock to escape, he manages to get his car stuck. The first person he comes across happens to be his best friend's sister, Josie, who oddly introduces himself as her fiancé. What starts as a misunderstanding quickly turns into a fake engagement, and you ring on Josie's finger is the last thing she wants, but at least it's only temporary. They have rules in place, an agreement that no matter what, nobody is saying I do. But it's not long before those lines begin to blur and the two find out that faking feelings might lead to the real thing. It sounds right up my street. I'm really intrigued to read this. It's quite a chunker. It's one of those books which I think will really just grip me. And also I've seen a lot about this on TikTok and I've heard a lot of good things. And I think my sisters read this and really liked it. So, and again, I loved Spanish Love Deception. I'll be really confused and really shocked if I don't love this too. Right, moving on. Fourth Wing. This is very, very popular. It's also a chunker. I've really been quite ambitious. So I don't actually know what this book is about. Oh, Millie Bobby Brown liked it. I love Millie Bobby Brown. Friends, enemies, lovers, everyone has an agenda. Violet Sorrengail expected to live a quiet life surrounded by books. Insane. Until she was forced onto the world's deadliest training ground. But now she must fight to join the army's elite dragon riders. Dragons don't choose fragile riders, they incinerate them. And when your body breaks as easily as Violet's does, death is only a heartbeat away. With the odds stacked against her, Violet must use every edge her wit can give her to see the next sunrise, because once you enter Basgaith War College, there are only 2 ways out: graduate or die. This is giving like Hunger Games, powerless and reckless energy. Oh, how exciting. Oh, I really want to read this. I've heard amazing things about Fourth Wing. How many pages are you, my friend? Oh, you know, a lovely little 530. But I'm really excited to read this. Maybe I read this next. I actually haven't decided what I'm going to read next. I know I said just then I'm going to read Collide next, but some of these books I literally just picked up. I was like, oh, I've seen stuff about that. Let me just pick that up. So this one seems rather fun. I know a lot of girlies don't love this book. I just want it because you can't tell me this is not giving autumn. This is autumn in a book. Like I said, there's not the best reviews about this, but I'm gonna read it. When Jeannie's aunt gifts her the beloved pumpkin spice cafe in the small town of Dream Harbour, Jeannie jumps at the chance for a fresh start away from her very dull desk job. Logan is a local farmer who avoids Dream Harbour's gossip at all costs, but Jeannie's arrival disrupts Logan's routine and he wants nothing to do with the irritatingly upbeat new girl, except that he finds himself inexplicably drawn to her. Will Jeannie's happy-go-lucky attitude win over the grumpy but gorgeous Logan, or has this city girl found the one person in town who won't fall for her charm or her pumpkin spice lattes? I actually haven't seen a book with text this big in a while. I love in books when they have the town. I think Dream Harbour is so cute. I love when they have the map, not the town, the map. Oh, playlist. Oh, Taylor Swift is in there. Invisible Strings in there. Oh, and Harry Styles, Lizzie McAlpine, Niall Horan. Everything is Changed by Taylor. I just want this on my bookshelf. When I get a bookshelf, because I don't actually have a bookshelf, I want this on there. Pumpkin spice lattes. I think it's going to give me all the feels. Maybe I read this first. Oh, all of this is so exciting. I've got no clue what I'm going to read first. Then, moving on to Beth O'Leary. I love Beth O'Leary. I read The Flat Share last year, absolutely loved it. So I saw The Road Trip. I reckon this may probably be quite summery, but it's road trippy vibes. Road Trip gives me rainy vibes. So Addie and her sister are on an epic road trip to a friend's wedding in rural Scotland, but not long after setting off, a car slams into theirs. The driver is none other than Addie's ex, who she hasn't seen since her traumatic breakup 2 years earlier. Dylan and his best mate are heading to the wedding too, so Addie has no choice but to offer them a ride. And with 400 miles to go, they can't avoid confronting their very messy history of their relationship. I feel like like this is gonna be quite funny, quite an easy read. And also it's like, you know, going to Scotland. Scotland's always raining. Scotland's always giving autumn vibes. So I'm intrigued. So I'm gonna read that as well. This one I'm not super like on the edge of my seat to read, so I'm definitely not gonna read this first. Moving on. Oh, I saw this in Waterstones yesterday. Have not seen a single thing about it. Haven't even heard anything about it, but it's Sally Rooney. Enough said. Normal People was one of the only books that has genuinely made me cried. Like, I was reading the pages crying. Any Sally Rooney book I'm gonna read. I have not read Conversations with Friends, but I have heard very good things about it, and I do want to read that. But I saw this. This is her new book. It's called Intermezzo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, to be honest. Intermezzo. Aside from the fact they are brothers, Peter and Ivan Kubek seem to have little in common. Peter is a Dublin lawyer in his 30s, successful, competent, and apparently But in their wake of their father's death, he's medicating himself to sleep and struggling to manage his relationships with two very different women. His enduring first love, Sylvia, and Naomi, a college student for whom life is one long joke. Ivan is a 22-year-old competitive chess player. He has always seen himself as socially awkward, a loner. Now, in the early weeks of his bereavement, Ivan meets Margaret, an older woman emerging from her own turbulent past, and their lives become rapidly and intensely intertwined. The two grieving brothers and the people they love, this is a new interlude, a period of desire, despair, and possibility, a chance to find out how much one life might hold itself without breaking. I think this is going to be amazing. I absolutely love the look of the book, so cute, and I got a free bookmark. How cute is that? I honestly might read this first. That's so cute, little dog peeking out. I love it. So yeah, I'm so excited. I just got £3 off. I'm so excited for this book. It is a chonker as well, but you know, clearly that doesn't seem to have an effect on me. Clearly I'm just gonna read it anyway. Right, 2 more. Which is good because my camera's on 16%. Daydream. This came out in August. It is Hannah Grace's 3rd book because I've read Icebreaker. I have read Wildfire. Have I? I'm not sure. This is the 3rd book though. I also have my Waterstones. Remind to get a Waterstones card in there, which I will be doing. But this, yeah, is by Hannah Grace. I really loved Icebreaker. We all loved Icebreaker, let's not lie. I've heard mixed things about this, to be honest. I've heard a very general thing that it's more 3 stars. We'll see. It follows Henry and Hallie. Henry is a chronic procrastinator and he is in his junior year of college, but he's made hockey captain. I have a thing for hockey captains apparently, and he's landed himself in a difficult class with his least favourite professor. Thankfully, it's then that Henry meets Hallie, a fellow junior who he immediately befriends. Academic pressure has never been a struggle for Hallie, but as an introverted people pleaser with a tendency to overcommit herself, she can't help but offer to help Henry pass his class. In turn, he offers to help make college life a little bit more inspiring. Just the thing she needs as an inspiring novelist. Failure isn't an option for either of them, but that doesn't mean there isn't a little room for distraction. I'm very excited to read that. And then lastly, this actually might be my most anticipated read. I know this is no longer popular. I mean, it's popular, but I know this was like having its moment ages ago. Sophie, Jane Miller and Georgia Richards and their book club, they have a book club with their friends. They read this back in August, I think, and they all gave it 5 stars and it just sold me. I don't know anything about chemistry. It's got the whole table, is that what it's called? I was homeschooled, don't know a single thing about chemistry. It follows that chemist Elizabeth Zott is not your average woman. In fact, Elizabeth Zott would be the first to point out that there is no such thing. It's the early 1960s and her all-male team at Hastings Research Institute take a very unscientific view of equality. Hastings is in Hastings. Forced to resign, she reluctantly signs on as a host of a cooking show, Supper at 6, but her revolutionary approach to cooking, fueled by scientific and rational commentary, grabs the attention of a nation, and soon a legion of overlooked housewives find themselves daring to change the status quo, one molecule at a time. I literally hadn't even read the blurb on this book, didn't have a clue what it was about. I picked it up because I know that it's amazing. Nigella Lawson! Yeah, I'm just so excited to read this. This is very, very different to anything I've read before, and probably anything I'll read, because like I said, don't know anything about chemistry. If this is actually set in Hastings, that's so cool. Or is there another Hastings in the world? I mean, there definitely is another Hastings in the world. Probably won't be my first read because I'm a bit scared to read it because I want to like it so badly. So this probably won't be my first read. I'm very excited to read it and I'm sure I'll love it. I just need to get round to reading it, if you get what I mean. So how many books are there? No. There's 8 books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are all the books I'm gonna try and read this month. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it maybe gave you some book recommendations. Like I said at the start of this video, please, 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 if you have any book recommendations, even if it's not something I would normally read, like I do want to get into like the murder mystery stuff, the thriller stuff, the not just romantasy and fantasy and romance stuff. I don't know where to start. I don't want to be scared of a book. So if anyone does have any book recommendations, please let me know. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're enjoying the book content. I'm absolutely just loving filming it. Like this is my favourite type of stuff to talk about because it motivates me to read and I love reading. Let me know if you've read any of these as well. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm gonna vlog throughout the month of me reading, do some book videos, so I will keep you updated on what I think of all these books, as well as you can follow my Goodreads. There I obviously also rate all my books and you can kind of see what I'm reading current time. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Follow my Instagram, it is Life with Rose. Of course, subscribe. I really hope you enjoyed and hopefully I'll see you next week for another video. Kisses and hugs. Bye.